Well, Canadians certainly have embraced the F-150. Here's an interesting stat. The F-150 is the best-selling vehicle in Canada, period, for 47 years in a row. In the United States, the record is only 36 years, so we certainly have embraced this vehicle. And last year, for the very first time, they sold over 100,000 F-150s. Now we're here in Drumheller, Alberta, getting to put the F-150 through its paces, towing, payload, off-road, and even an economy run. And Ford is doing this because there's an onslaught of new products coming onto the market. The Sierra and the Silverado from GMC and Chevrolet, and also the Ram trucks have been heavily updated. So Ford has brought us here to Drumheller, Alberta to remind us that the F-150 is #1 for a reason.
So for 2013, we've added on the interiors, we've added My Ford Touch on our Lariat series and above, which brings connectivity with your Bluetooth functions and all your voice commands and your touchscreen commands to the customer. We've added My Touch on our XLT series. And we've also added a Limited, which is our now flagship on F-150 for a more exclusive customer. You know, when you're in your truck so much, you really want it to look great, you want it to be comfortable, and you want it to be very usable.
The vehicle of choice for the towing challenge was the 3.5-liter turbocharged V6 engine called EcoBoost. In the past 2 years, this engine has been chosen by over 40% of F-150 buyers for its amazing 11,300-pound towing capacity. That's thanks to 420 foot-pounds of torque. Climbing hills with a 6,000-pound trailer was effortless. Now consider this. The premium engine in the F-150 comes from the Super Duty series, the 6.2-liter V8. That's a big V8 with 434 foot-pounds of torque. This V6 has 420 foot-pounds of torque, which gives you great towing capacity, but when there's nothing in the truck or you're not towing anything, gives you the efficiency to keep fuel costs down. For the fuel economy challenge, we also used the EcoBoost F-150. And when driving as efficiently as possible with no trailer, the EcoBoost model was able to get 10 liters per 100 kilometers on a 1-hour fuel challenge course. And this is the great thing about the EcoBoost. It has all of that towing capacity, 420 foot-pounds of torque, 11,000-pound towing capacity, but when there's nothing in the truck or you're not towing, you can get some good mileage. For the payload challenge, we had plenty of time cruising over the rolling prairie around Drumheller with a full load in the back. Now the truck we're driving in now is equipped with the 5-liter V8 engine that was introduced in 2011, but for 2013 they've upped the payload that this vehicle is able to take. Over 3,100 pounds now of payload. We have 2,000 pounds worth of wood in the back, and the one thing we've noticed driving here, especially on gravel and even roads in Alberta, is how quiet and smooth and refined it is, and there's certainly lots more in reserve here with this motor because it has 360 horsepower and 380 foot-pounds of torque. Now some people would say, okay, I'm going to get the EcoBoost motor, the V6, the 3.5 with the turbocharged direct injection, but some people claim that the 5-liter might be the way to go because under strain, that turbocharged engine is using more fuel, and this V8 isn't straining as much. So that really comes down to the kind of driving style that you have.
Fuel economy is becoming more and more important in this segment. We didn't really used to talk about fuel economy in the truck segment so much, but customers really are talking now more about fuel economy and just what's going on with fuel prices and in the world. It's becoming a key purchase reason. So we know that customers don't want to give up any truck capability. That's why they're in the segment in the first place, is because they want that capability. And if they can do that and get great fuel economy as well, like they can, for instance, with our EcoBoost, the customers are really resonating with that.
The 6.2-liter high-performance engine is standard on the Raptor purpose-built off-road truck, and taking it through a motocross course designed for dirt bikes highlights just how capable the suspension is, and it was also the highlight of the entire trip. Yes, Ford has been #1 in Canada for 47 years as the best-selling vehicle with the F-150, and they've sold 100,000 vehicles in the past year, but there's a lot of new competition. The new trucks from General Motors have arrived, and also the Ram has been heavily refreshed with things like 8-speed gearboxes over the last little while. So the F-150 has to be on point, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do next. That's the reason they brought us here, to refresh our memory, to let us know that they're #1 for a reason. You can have a little bit of everything depending on your price and your capability in the F-150.
Want more? Extended reviews of many of our segments are available online at drivingtelevision.com.